Welcome back to our channel, Rare Coins Hub. Imagine walking into a coin shop, casually glancing through piles of pennies, perhaps even tossing a few into a jar when you get home. To the casual observer, most of these pennies are worth exactly what they're labeled, 1 cent. But for a select few collectors, one of those pennies might be far more valuable than just its face value. The 1985 US 1 cent coin, commonly known as the penny, has become one of those rare treasures. What makes it so special? And how does a humble copper coin from 1985 turn into an impressive piece of numismatic history now worth up to $107,000? If you think all pennies are the same, think again. There's a rich world behind every coin minted, a history of design, craftsmanship, and sometimes, even unexpected quirks in the minting process that make certain coins stand out. The 1985 penny, although often overlooked in circulation, holds a key place in numismatic circles due to its unique characteristics, its historical context, and, perhaps most importantly, the rare errors that make it one of the most valuable pennies in the modern age. To understand the true significance of the 1985 penny, we need to take a step back in time to the early 1980s, a period of change in the United States, both socially and economically. The country was experiencing the tail end of the Reagan era, a time of political shifts, economic recovery from the early 1980s recession, and an increasing sense of global competitiveness. The year 1985 was pivotal in many ways, from advancements in technology to notable shifts in pop culture. But for the U.S. Mint, 1985 was part of a broader effort to continue the tradition of minting coins that reflect the values and history of the nation. The design of the U.S. 1 cent coin, or penny, has evolved over the years, but in 1985, it still featured the familiar design that had been in use since 1909. The obverse, front, of the coin featured the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's profile on the penny became one of the most iconic images in American coinage, symbolizing the nation's reverence for its leadership and the ideals of liberty, equality, and freedom. The reverse, back, of the 1985 penny depicted the familiar design of the Lincoln Memorial, which had been used since 1959. The memorial, a tribute to Lincoln's life and legacy, symbolized the respect the nation had for its leaders and the sacrifices made during pivotal moments in American history. The design, which has become synonymous with the penny itself, is a constant reminder of the values Lincoln embodied and his role in shaping the country. But in the world of numismatics, even coins that seem to have the same design and minting process every year can hold unique attributes. While most people think of the penny as a simple copper coin with a well-worn design, collectors know that there are hidden gems within the millions of coins produced each year. The 1985 penny is no exception. The most intriguing aspect of the 1985 penny lies in the subtle differences in its production, which became a focal point for collectors looking for unique specimens. In this case, it wasn't the overall design of the coin that made it so valuable, but rather the series of minting errors that created variations in the coin. Numismatic collectors are always on the lookout for coins that deviate from the norm, as these irregularities can dramatically increase the value of a coin. One of the most notable errors associated with the 1985 penny is the double die variety. Double die errors occur when the coin's design is struck more than once, resulting in a doubling effect on certain parts of the coin. In the case of the 1985 penny, the doubling was most apparent on Lincoln's eye, as well as other areas of his face and the letters on the coin. This error was the result of the die being struck multiple times, causing a slight shift in the image. The result was a penny with a distinct doubling effect that caught the eye of collectors and dealers alike. While double die errors are not exceptionally rare, they are always in high demand among collectors. The 1985 double die penny, in particular, became famous for the clarity of the doubling on Lincoln's face. For collectors who were fortunate enough to find one of these coins, it was an exciting discovery, especially since these coins were never meant to exist. A coin with such a distinct error is highly prized for its uniqueness, and that uniqueness directly impacts its value. The 1985 double die penny is not just a curiosity for collectors, it's a valuable asset. Depending on the condition of the coin and the severity of the error, a 1985 double die penny can fetch anywhere from several $100s to over $107,000 in some cases. These high values are not just because of the error itself, but also because of the rarity and demand among collectors. The more pristine the coin, the more it is worth, but what makes the 1985 penny even more intriguing is the fact that these errors weren't intentional or widespread. The U.S. Mint, known for its precision and quality control, typically catches such errors early in the production process. However, when it comes to rare coin errors, the occasional misstep can turn into a windfall for collectors. The fact that such a small percentage of 1985 pennies were struck with the double die error makes them highly coveted among enthusiasts, especially those who specialize in collecting error coins. For those new to the world of coin collecting, it's important to understand the process of how coins are made and why errors can occur. The U.S. Mint uses presses to strike designs onto coins, creating the detailed images we see on the obverse and reverse. When a die, which is used to imprint the design onto the coin, becomes misaligned or is used incorrectly, it can result in double die errors or other types of minting flaws. These errors can happen for a variety of reasons, including imperfections in the die itself or irregularities in the striking process. The fact that a mistake in the minting process can lead to a coin being worth far more than its intended value is a testament to the fascination people have with rare coins and the collecting community's love for unique pieces. It's this allure of rarity and historical significance that has made the 1985 double die penny such a highly sought-after coin among collectors. When you're holding a coin with an error that was never meant to exist, it's like holding a small piece of history, a unique artifact from the past that has the potential to make you a significant amount of money. In addition to the double die error, other variations of the 1985 penny also attract attention from collectors. These include coins with slight misprints, die cracks, or other anomalies that give the penny its own unique characteristics. While these variations may not fetch the same astronomical prices as the double die variety, they are still highly valuable to the right collector. Some of these coins can also reach impressive values, depending on their condition and the rarity of the error. The 1985 penny holds an important place in the world of coin collecting because it represents the intersection of history, design, and the unpredictable nature of the minting process. It reminds us that even the most common, everyday coins can hold hidden value and provide a glimpse into the fascinating world of numismatics. The excitement of finding a rare coin, especially one with a minting error, is what drives so many people to dedicate themselves to collecting. For those looking to find their own 1985 double die penny or other rare coins, the hunt can be both thrilling and rewarding. Coins that might seem ordinary at first glance could hold extraordinary value, and with the right knowledge, persistence, and a bit of luck, anyone can become a part of the exciting world of coin collecting. So, next time you come across a 1985 penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, because that humble coin could be the key to unlocking a treasure worth $107,000. The world of rare coins is full of surprises, and who knows? You might just stumble upon your very own numismatic masterpiece. The top 2 coin is U.S. 1 cent from the year 1989. Let's dive into the fascinating world of the 1989 USA 1 cent coin, exploring its historical significance, its design, and the collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for one. It all begins with the year 1989. It's a time most of us associate with the end of the 1980s, a decade marked by significant social, cultural, and political shifts. President George H.W. Bush had just taken office, the Berlin Wall was coming down, and the Cold War was beginning to draw to a close. It was a year when pop culture was in full swing. Think of the iconic Back to the Future Part 2, or the unforgettable music of Madonna and Michael Jackson. The world was rapidly changing, and the U.S. Mint, as always, was busy producing coins to meet the demands of a growing economy. For coin collectors, 1989 is also a significant year because of the U.S. Mint's ongoing efforts to produce coins that reflect the national identity and historical legacy of the United States. The 1-cent coin, or the penny, is no exception. While the design of the penny had remained relatively unchanged since 1909, 1989 saw the continuation of a tradition that was nearly as old as the nation itself. The design of the 1989 penny was not a departure from the classic designs that had become so familiar over the years. The obverse, front, featured the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This design, created by the artist Victor David Brenner, had been in use since 1909, when it first debuted on the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Brenner's portrait of Lincoln, based on a life mask made by sculptor Clark Mills, became an instant classic. It remains one of the most recognizable images in U.S. coinage, symbolizing the legacy of a leader who fought to preserve the Union during the Civil War and whose words and deeds continue to shape the American consciousness. On the reverse, back, of the 1989 penny, we find the familiar design of the Lincoln Memorial, which had been in use since 1959. The Lincoln Memorial, located in Washington, D.C., serves as a tribute to Lincoln's life and contributions to the nation, and it had become an iconic image that tied together the coin's symbolism with the physical monument. The memorial was designed by the sculptor John Flanagan, and its depiction on the penny was intended to evoke feelings of reverence for Lincoln's leadership, as well as for the nation's founding ideals of liberty, democracy, and equality. To the untrained eye, the 1989 penny might seem like just another run-of-the-mill coin. It's a simple design, with little to distinguish it from the hundreds of billions of pennies that have been produced since its introduction. However, in the world of numismatics, coin collecting, nothing is ever as simple as it seems. Coins that are common on the surface often hold hidden value for those with an eye for detail, and the 1989 penny is no exception. One of the most important factors that determine the value of a coin is its rarity. In the case of the 1989 penny, the issue is not necessarily one of overall rarity, but of specific varieties and errors that make some examples far more valuable than others. Coin collectors, or numismatists, are always on the lookout for coins that have unique features or minting errors. These errors can include things like off-center strikes, double dies, or misprints, all of which can significantly increase the value of a coin. Among the most notable of the 1989 penny varieties are those with minting errors. The U.S. Mint, despite its precise machinery and quality control measures, occasionally produces coins with defects. These defects can range from minor imperfections to significant errors that make the coin stand out in ways that are highly prized by collectors. The 1989 penny, in particular, has been known to feature some of these errors, making it a prime target for collectors seeking out valuable and unique pieces. One of the most significant errors associated with the 1989 penny is the double die variety. A double die error occurs when a coin is struck more than once by the die, causing the design to be imprinted more than once, usually with a slight shift. This results in a doubling effect on certain parts of the coin, most notably on the lettering and numbers. On the 1989 penny, collectors have noted double die errors on the date and the word liberty on the obverse, as well as on the phrase e pluribus unum on the reverse. These double die errors are highly sought after because they create a coin that is visually distinct from the rest. Instead of having a single, sharp image of Lincoln or the lettering, the doubled effect gives the coin a unique, ghostly appearance. The rarity of these errors, since they happen only when the coin is struck multiple times, makes them incredibly valuable to collectors. The 1989 double die penny is considered one of the most valuable varieties of the coin, with some specimens fetching impressive prices at auction. In fact, a well-preserved example of a 1989 double die penny can be worth upwards of $98,000, depending on its condition and the severity of the error. The double die variety isn't the only error that can make a 1989 penny valuable. Other errors, such as die cracks, off-center strikes, and other minting defects, can also make a 1989 penny more desirable to collectors. These errors are often the result of imperfections in the minting process, where the dies or the planchets, the blank metal discs that are struck to make coins, are misaligned, damaged, or worn. While these errors may seem like mistakes, they are actually highly coveted by coin enthusiasts, who see them as rare and fascinating examples of the minting process gone awry. So, what makes these rare 1989 pennies worth so much? In short, it's all about the combination of rarity, historical significance, and demand. Coins that are struck with errors are not only rare by their nature, but they also hold a special place in the world of collectors. These mistakes are a tangible link to the history of the U.S. Mint and provide a glimpse into the sometimes unpredictable nature of coin production. For many collectors, owning a coin with such an error is like owning a piece of numismatic history, a physical object that carries with it a story of how it came to be, and why it is so valuable today. The 1989 penny is also a reflection of how coin collecting, or numismatics, has evolved over the years. While many collectors once focused solely on collecting coins in pristine condition, there is now a growing appreciation for coins that tell a story through their imperfections. In many ways, the 1989 penny, especially the era varieties, is emblematic of this shift. It's no longer just about finding a coin in mint condition, it's about discovering coins with unique characteristics, whether that's an error or a rare variety that makes it stand out. For collectors, the thrill of the hunt is part of the allure. The excitement of finding a coin with an error that no one else has noticed is what drives so many people to continue searching for rare specimens. And in the case of the 1989 penny, that search can lead to significant rewards. The fact that such a humble, everyday coin can be worth as much as $98,000 is a testament to the incredible world of coin collecting, a world where rarity, history, and passion intersect to create something truly special. As we look back on the 1989 1-cent coin, it's clear that this small piece of currency has more to it than meets the eye. The value of the 1989 penny, particularly those with errors like the double die variety, has risen over the years as collectors continue to search for these rare and unique coins. What once seemed like a simple coin now represents a piece of numismatic history, a coin that can transform from an ordinary item in your pocket to a valuable treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. The top 3. At first glance, a 1998 penny might seem like just another coin, small, copper-colored, and easy to overlook. But in the world of numismatics, where every detail counts, even a penny from 1998 can be a goldmine. This isn't just about the coin itself, but rather the context in which it exists. You might find pennies from this era in your pocket or stuck in between the cushions of your couch, but did you know that certain 1998 pennies can be worth an astonishing $76,000? You might wonder how a coin as humble as a penny could fetch such an incredible price. Well, the answer is hidden in the coin's design, its history, the rare errors that it can sometimes contain, and the passionate collectors who have learned to appreciate its value. To understand how the 1998 penny can be worth so much, we first need to take a step back and explore the historical and cultural context surrounding the coin. The year 1998 was an interesting one for the United States. The country was in the midst of an economic boom, with the dot-com bubble expanding rapidly and the internet taking the world by storm. The economy was strong, and the 1990s saw a rise in consumer confidence and technological advancements. While the world was experiencing this transformation, the U.S. Mint was focused on producing the everyday currency that would circulate in the pockets of Americans across the country, including the penny. When we talk about the 1998 penny, it's important to remember that it falls under the series of coins that were designed to be practical and utilitarian. The penny, or 1-cent coin, has been in circulation in the U.S. since 1793, and over the years, it has undergone several redesigns. By 1998, the design of the penny had remained largely unchanged for decades, making it one of the most enduring symbols of American currency. On the obverse front of the 1998 penny, we find the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The design, created by Victor David Brenner in 1909, commemorates Lincoln's role in preserving the Union during the Civil War and his pivotal role in ending slavery in the U.S. Brenner's iconic portrait of Lincoln has been used on the penny since its introduction, making it one of the most recognizable images in American numismatics. The portrait is highly detailed, showing Lincoln's solemn face and well-known facial features, and it has remained unchanged for over a century, making it a fixture of American currency. The reverse, back, of the 1998 penny features the image of the Lincoln Memorial, another enduring symbol of the U.S. national identity. The memorial, located on the National Mall in Washington, D.C., was designed by architect Henry Bacon and dedicated in 1922 to honor Lincoln's legacy. This particular design, created by John Flanagan, has been in use since 1959 and is widely associated with the ideals of freedom, democracy, and unity that Lincoln stood for. The reverse side of the penny is an artistic representation of this iconic structure, with its columns and steps symbolizing the pillars of the nation's democratic values. But while the 1998 penny may seem like a familiar and unremarkable coin to the casual observer, numismatists know that it is far from ordinary. The real value in these pennies lies in the specific varieties and rare minting errors that can occur during production. Minting errors are not uncommon in the coin-making process. After all, the U.S. Mint uses massive machines to strike millions of coins each day, and occasionally, those machines can make mistakes. These errors can range from minor defects to significant mistakes that make the coin unique. And when a mistake is made on a coin that is already in circulation, especially on a widely produced coin like the penny, it can end up being worth far more than its face value. One of the most valuable 1998 pennies to collectors is the double die variety. A double die occurs when a coin is struck multiple times, causing the design to appear twice, slightly offset. This can happen when the die, which holds the design used to imprint the coin, becomes misaligned during the minting process. The result is a coin with a distinctive, doubled image on the obverse or reverse, making it stand out from other pennies produced at the same time. For the 1998 penny, the double die error is most often found on the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" on the obverse, where the letters appear to be doubled. This variety is highly sought after because it is both rare and visually striking. A well-preserved 1998 double die penny can fetch upwards of $76,000, depending on its condition and the extent of the error. For many collectors, finding a double die penny is the ultimate treasure hunt, an exciting and rewarding experience that can lead to a coin worth many times its face value. Of course, it's not just the double die varieties that make the 1998 penny special. There are other errors that can occur during the minting process, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, and repunched mint marks. Each of these errors adds a layer of rarity and intrigue to the coin, making it more valuable to collectors. For example, an off-center strike happens when the planchet, the metal blank used to make the coin, is not properly aligned with the die during the minting process. This results in a coin that is struck off-center, with parts of the design missing or shifted to the side. These off-center pennies are prized for their uniqueness, as no two coins with off-center strikes are exactly the same. Another error that can increase the value of a 1998 penny is a die crack. A die crack occurs when the die used to strike the coin becomes cracked or damaged during the minting process. This crack is then imprinted onto the coin itself, often in the form of a line running across the design. These cracks are considered rare and highly collectible, especially when they appear on coins with significant designs, such as the Lincoln Portrait or the Lincoln Memorial. In addition to these minting errors, the overall condition of the coin plays a significant role in determining its value. Coins that are well preserved, with little to no wear, are considered to be in mint condition, and they are much more valuable to collectors than coins that have been circulated extensively. The grading of a coin is done on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. A 1998 penny in mint condition with no visible defects can command a higher price than one that has been worn down over time or has noticeable scratches. The allure of rare pennies, like the 1998 double die, is part of what makes coin collecting so fascinating. For collectors, it's not just about finding a coin that is rare, it's about finding a coin that tells a story. Coins with errors or unique features are physical artifacts that connect us to a specific moment in history, whether it's the creation of the coin itself, a mistake in the minting process, or the era in which it was produced. For many collectors, owning a rare coin like the 1998 double die penny is a way of preserving that piece of history. What makes the 1998 penny even more compelling is the fact that it is not a one-off rarity. Throughout the years, pennies from various years and mints have become valuable not because they were produced in small quantities, but because of the rare mistakes that occurred during production. The 1998 penny is just one example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can become an extraordinary find for collectors. As we look at the 1998 penny today, it's incredible to think about how such a small and humble coin can be worth as much as $76,000. For many collectors, the journey to discovering one of these rare pennies is an exciting adventure, filled with anticipation and the thrill of the hunt. Whether it's a double die variety, an off-center strike, or a coin with a die crack, the 1998 penny is proof that even the most ordinary objects can hold hidden value, and that in the world of numismatics, you never know what treasure might be waiting just beneath the surface. The top 4 coin is 1962 USA 5-cent coin, or nickel. Might seem like just another one of those small, everyday coins you might find in your pocket or tucked away in a jar at home, but in the world of coin collecting, even the seemingly ordinary nickel can have extraordinary value. This particular coin has captured the attention of numismatists and collectors alike due to a combination of factors, including its historical significance, the design on the obverse and reverse, and, most importantly, the rare errors that have been found in some 1962 nickels. These rare coins are now worth a stunning $135,000, and this is just one example of how a humble 5-cent piece can become a coveted treasure. To truly understand how a coin that's worth just 5 cents can turn into such a highly valuable item, it's important to understand the context in which it was created and how it fits into the larger story of American coinage. The United States Mint has been producing coins for more than 2 centuries, and over the years, it has made many coins that became iconic in American history. The 5-cent coin, or nickel, has played a significant role in American coinage for over 150 years. While it's always been a relatively low-value coin, the nickels produced over the years have a unique charm and often come with a rich history that makes them highly collectible. The year 1962 was one of the more interesting times in the history of American coinage. The United States was in the middle of the Cold War, and the country was experiencing significant political, cultural, and economic shifts. In the world of coinage, the year 1962 marked a continuation of a series of well-established designs, but there was a changing of the guard happening behind the scenes. The production methods used by the U.S. Mint were evolving, and new techniques in die-making, minting, and striking coins were coming into play. This would ultimately have an impact on the quality of the coins, the types of errors that would appear, and how these coins were handled by collectors in the future. The design of the 1962 nickel is instantly recognizable to anyone who has ever looked at American currency. On the obverse, or front, is the image of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, whose likeness has been used on the 5-cent coin since 1938. The portrait of Jefferson was created by artist Felix Schlag, and his design has become one of the most iconic and enduring images in American numismatics. Jefferson's stern, dignified profile has been a fixture on the nickel for decades, and the 1962 coin features a crisp and detailed engraving of his features, with the inscription "Liberty" and the year 1962 along the top edge. The phrase, "In God We Trust," is also engraved along the rim, as is the motto, "E pluribus unum." On the reverse of the 1962 nickel, you'll find an image of Monticello, the plantation home of Thomas Jefferson in Virginia, which was also designed by Felix Schlag. Monticello has been the reverse design of the nickel since 1938, and it's a striking image of the neoclassical mansion with its prominent dome and symmetrical columns. The building has long been associated with Jefferson's legacy as a founding father and architect of the United States. The reverse design also includes the words United States of America, e pluribus unum, and 5 cents. The combination of Jefferson's portrait on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse makes this nickel one of the most recognizable coins in American history, but as beautiful and enduring as the design of the 1962 nickel is, what makes this coin truly fascinating is the way it was produced. During the 1960s, the U.S. Mint was going through a transition in terms of its coin production. The Mint was producing vast quantities of coins to meet the needs of an expanding economy, and with that came the occasional mistake. While most coins are struck with precision and care, the minting process involves thousands of coins being produced every minute. This leaves ample opportunity for errors, whether it's a misaligned die, a double-struck coin, or a missing mint mark. Such errors might seem minor to the casual observer, but for a collector, these imperfections can make a coin incredibly valuable. One of the most coveted varieties of the 1962 nickel is the so-called double die error. A double die occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing the design to be imprinted onto the coin multiple times. This results in a coin with a distinctive, doubled image that is easily recognizable to collectors. The 1962 double die nickels are particularly sought after because the error is clearly visible, with the doubled image often appearing on the word Liberty and the date, 1962, on the obverse. The presence of this error makes the coin significantly rarer and more valuable than a typical 1962 nickel, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for a well-preserved example of the double die variety. Another error that has been found in some 1962 nickels is the off-center strike. Off-center strikes occur when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be cut off or shifted to the side. These off-center nickels are prized by collectors because they are visually striking and one of a kind. While off-center strikes are more common on larger coins, they can still occur on smaller coins like the nickel, and when they do, they become highly sought after by those in the numismatic community. The rarity and uniqueness of these off-center strikes make them an excellent investment for anyone looking to add a valuable and historic coin to their collection. In addition to these errors, the overall condition of the coin plays a significant role in its value. The grading of coins is a subjective process, and coins are evaluated based on their appearance, level of wear, and overall quality. A coin that is in pristine condition, with no visible signs of wear or damage, is considered to be in mint condition and is worth significantly more than a coin that has been heavily circulated. Coins that are graded as MS, mint state, 65 or higher are particularly valuable to collectors, and a well-preserved 1962 nickel in such condition can fetch a high price on the open market. So, what makes the 1962 5-cent coin worth $135,000? The answer lies in the rarity of the errors, the condition of the coin, and the strong demand from collectors. The market for rare coins is driven by a combination of factors: the coin's historical significance, its rarity, its condition, and the story behind it. The 1962 nickel, with its iconic design and its potential for minting errors, has become one of the most sought-after coins in the world of numismatics. In recent years, 1962 double-die nickels have sold for impressive sums, sometimes reaching up to $135,000 or more for well-preserved examples. This value is a testament to the appeal of rare and unique coins in the world of collecting. For many, owning a coin like the 1962 double-die nickel is a way of preserving a piece of history and participating in a hobby that has been cherished for centuries. It's about the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the satisfaction of owning something truly special. If you happen to come across a 1962 nickel in your collection or while coin hunting, take a moment to examine it closely. It may look like a simple, everyday coin, but hidden within that small 5-cent piece could be the potential for an incredible find. Whether it's a double die, an off-center strike, or simply a well-preserved example of this historic coin, the 1962 nickel is proof that even the most humble of coins can hold immense value. For those who are lucky enough to stumble upon one of these rare and valuable coins, the payoff can be a life-changing windfall. After all, a coin that started out as just 5 cents could very well end up being worth $135,000. The top 5. When we think of American coins, it's easy to imagine the everyday pocket change we carry with us, the pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters that we trade for goods and services without much thought. Most of these coins are produced in massive quantities, and though they pass through countless hands every year, they often remain relatively low in value. But in the world of numismatics, the study and collection of coins, even the most common coins can hold incredible, sometimes surprising value. And one of the best examples of this is the 1985 USA 5-cent coin, or nickel. At first glance, the 1985 nickel may seem like any other 5-cent coin, small, practical, and quite ordinary. However, when you delve into its history, design, and the circumstances surrounding its minting, you realize that this particular nickel, this seemingly average coin, has become one of the most sought-after and valuable coins in the world. And, believe it or not, it's now worth a jaw-dropping $112,000. You might wonder, what makes this particular coin so special? After all, the nickel has been a staple of American coinage since 1866. It's been produced in countless numbers over the years, with most coins circulating among the public and being spent regularly. But the 1985 nickel has something more to offer, a combination of historical context, design intricacies, and rare errors that make it an iconic piece for collectors. To truly understand the significance of the 1985 nickel, we have to take a closer look at its history. The 5-cent coin, or nickel, first appeared in 1866, but it wasn't until 1938 that the design we now recognize today was introduced. Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and one of the nation's founding fathers, became the face of the nickel, his likeness prominently displayed on the obverse side of the coin. This design, created by artist Felix Schlag, has remained in use for decades, making Jefferson's profile one of the most iconic in American coinage. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find an image of Jefferson's estate, Monticello, which was designed by Schlag as well. Monticello, Jefferson's neoclassical home in Virginia, became the symbol for the reverse of the nickel and has been featured on every nickel minted since 1938. This design has remained a constant, even as the world around it changed, and the 1985 nickel is no different. With its combination of Jefferson's dignified profile and the stately image of Monticello, this coin perfectly encapsulates both the ideals of the American Revolution and the country's enduring commitment to liberty and freedom. But the 1985 nickel is more than just a coin with a familiar design. As with many coins, it's the subtle details that make it truly stand out. For most people, a nickel minted in 1985 might seem like a standard issue, but when you look closer, you begin to see what makes it unique. The coin was struck during a period of transition in the U.S. Mint's operations. By the mid-1980s, the Mint had adopted more advanced minting techniques, and the production process was becoming more efficient. However, this increased output sometimes led to errors, and it's these errors that have created a surge in collector interest for the 1985 nickel. The most significant error associated with the 1985 nickel is the famous doubled die variety. A doubled die occurs when the design on the coin is struck multiple times by the die, resulting in a misalignment that causes a doubling of the image. In the case of the 1985 nickel, the error can often be found on the word Liberty and the date, 1985, on the obverse, where the text appears doubled, making it immediately noticeable to collectors. Though this error might seem small, it has had a profound impact on the value of the coin. Because such errors are relatively rare, a 1985 nickel with a double die can fetch an impressive price on the market, often reaching tens of thousands of dollars in auction sales. The appeal of these error coins lies in their rarity. The U.S. Mint produces billions of coins every year, but only a tiny fraction of those coins feature errors. As a result, coins with errors like the double die or other misprints are highly coveted by collectors who are eager to add unique pieces to their collections. The 1985 double die nickel has become a sought-after item for serious numismatists and collectors, who are willing to pay a premium for a well-preserved example. But what makes the 1985 nickel even more valuable is the condition of the coin itself. In the world of numismatics, the value of a coin is heavily influenced by its grade, which reflects the coin's overall condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, uncirculated coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. For the 1985 nickel, examples that are in near-mint condition, with sharp details, minimal wear, and no visible damage, are worth significantly more than those that have been heavily circulated. Collectors and dealers often seek out coins that are graded as MS 65 or higher, as these coins are considered to be in mint state. A well-preserved 1985 nickel in MS 65 or better can easily command thousands of dollars, especially if it exhibits the double die error. Coins that are graded higher, in MS 66, MS 67, or even MS 68, are incredibly rare, and their value can skyrocket into the tens of thousands of dollars. The 1985 nickel's appeal is also rooted in the history surrounding the coin. The mid-1980s were a time of great change in the United States, both politically and economically. The country was in the midst of the Reagan administration, and the economy was undergoing significant growth following the 1980 to 1982 recession. The United States was also transitioning into a more globalized world, with significant advances in technology, culture, and finance. In this context, coins like the 1985 nickel serve as a snapshot of a moment in time, offering a tangible connection to the past and a reflection of the nation's evolving identity. As with any collectible item, the market for rare coins is driven by a combination of demand, rarity, and emotional connection. For collectors, the 1985 nickel is more than just a coin. It represents an opportunity to own a piece of American history, a tangible artifact that encapsulates the spirit of the 1980s and the broader history of American coinage. And with the added intrigue of minting errors, it's no wonder that the 1985 nickel has become one of the most desirable coins on the market today. So, how did this unassuming 5-cent coin become worth $112,000? The answer lies in the combination of factors: its rarity, its unique minting errors, its condition, and the demand from collectors who are eager to own a piece of American history. The 1985 nickel, in its error form, represents the intersection of history, art, and chance. It is a coin that tells a story not only about the United States but also about the people who seek to preserve and collect the country's treasures. For anyone who happens to find a 1985 nickel with the double die error or a coin in exceptional condition, the discovery could lead to a windfall. What might seem like a simple, everyday coin could be worth tens of thousands of dollars, or more, depending on the rarity and quality. The 1985 nickel proves that, sometimes, the most unexpected treasures lie hidden in plain sight. In the last but not least, we will talk about the 1988 USA 5-cent coin. When most of us think about nickels, we think of pocket change, something we rarely pay much attention to. After all, it's just 5 cents, a coin used in everyday transactions without much thought. However, the 1988 nickel, with its rich history, distinctive design, and rare characteristics, has become one of the most sought-after treasures in the world of coin collecting, now valued at an astonishing $103,000. But what makes this particular nickel so valuable? Is it simply a coincidence that this 1988 coin stands out among millions of others? Not at all. Like many rare and valuable coins, it's the culmination of a mix of historical, artistic, and accidental factors that have led to this unexpected surge in its value. As we dive deeper into the story behind the 1988 nickel, you'll come to understand just how a simple coin can evolve from a small piece of change into a coveted collector's item worth a small fortune. To begin, let's set the stage by looking back at the year 1988 and the circumstances surrounding the production of this nickel. The 1980s was a time of economic growth and technological change in the United States. Ronald Reagan was in the midst of his second term as president, and the nation was experiencing a period of financial prosperity. The U.S. Mint was working to keep up with the growing demand for coins, and 1988 was no exception. This year saw the production of billions of coins, including the 5-cent nickel, a coin that had been in circulation since 1866. The design of the 5-cent coin, or the nickel, has undergone several changes since its inception. The 1988 nickel, however, bore the classic design that had been in place since 1938. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, as portrayed by the artist Felix Schlag. Jefferson's face has been the face of the nickel for decades, and it remains one of the most recognizable presidential images on U.S. coinage. On the reverse side, the coin features an image of Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia estate. This design is known as the Monticello nickel, and has been used on the reverse of the coin since it was first introduced in 1938. For many, the design of the 1988 nickel might seem unremarkable. It's simple, clean, and undeniably American. But it's in the details that we start to see why this coin is not just another ordinary nickel. Let's take a deeper look at the specific elements that set the 1988 nickel apart. The first thing to note is the overall quality and craftsmanship of the 1988 nickel. Coins, especially those produced in large quantities like the nickel, are often subject to wear and tear as they circulate. However, some coins, particularly those that are well preserved or have been stored away in pristine condition, can survive the rigors of daily use and emerge as valuable collector items. The 1988 nickel is no exception. Many of these coins were struck with high precision, meaning that well-preserved specimens can fetch a premium price today. Moreover, like many other coins from the mid-1980s, the 1988 nickel was produced during a time when the U.S. Mint was experimenting with advanced minting techniques and improved die production methods. As a result, some coins from this era exhibit subtle differences in the quality of the strike, the alignment of the dies, or other characteristics that make them unique. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this coin so much more valuable than other nickels from the same year? The answer lies in the error varieties, a term that coin collectors use to describe coins that have been misstruck or have some kind of flaw in their design. The 1988 nickel is famous for one such error: the double die. A double die occurs when a coin is struck multiple times by the same die, causing the image to appear doubled or shifted. For the 1988 nickel, this error can sometimes be seen on the word Liberty and the date, 1988, where the letters and numbers appear to be double-struck. While such errors are rare, they can significantly increase the value of a coin, especially when combined with high-quality preservation. This is exactly what happened with the 1988 nickel. The 1988 double die nickel is one of the most desirable coins among collectors because of its rarity and the fact that it offers a glimpse into the mint's production process. To make matters even more interesting, the double die error was not widely known at first. It wasn't until years later that collectors began to notice the anomaly, and once they did, the demand for these rare error coins skyrocketed. But the appeal of the 1988 nickel doesn't stop at its design or error varieties. The coin's historical significance also plays a large role in its collector value. The year 1988 was an important time in the United States, marked by significant political, cultural, and economic changes. As the country continued to recover from the economic downturn of the early 1980s, it was also preparing for the end of the Reagan era and the impending 1989 presidential election. In this context, the 1988 nickel became a symbol of an important moment in American history. In terms of minting numbers, the 1988 nickel wasn't produced in extremely limited quantities, but it was certainly not the most common coin either. The U.S. Mint produced over 1 billion nickels in 1988, but this doesn't mean that every coin from this year is worth a fortune. The rarity of the 1988 nickel comes not from its total mintage, but from the specific characteristics and errors that set some coins apart from the rest. Collectors often seek out coins with unique features, and the double die error found in some 1988 nickels makes them incredibly valuable. When it comes to coin collecting, the condition of the coin is one of the most important factors in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being the highest grade. A 1988 nickel in pristine, uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used in circulation and shows no signs of wear or damage, can fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auction. A coin with a double die error and a high grade, like MS-66 or MS-67, can be worth even more. The market for rare coins has been growing steadily over the past few decades, and the 1988 nickel is a prime example of how a simple piece of change can appreciate in value over time. As collectors and investors continue to seek out rare and unique coins, the value of the 1988 nickel has only risen. Coins that were once considered just another nickel have now become coveted treasures, with some specimens fetching prices that would have seemed unimaginable just a few years ago. At the time of writing, the 1988 double die nickel, especially those in pristine condition with the doubled Liberty and 1988 design, can sell for over $100,000 at auction. The 1988 nickel has transcended its humble origins as a piece of everyday currency to become a valuable and highly sought-after collectible. So, how did this 5-cent coin, something so familiar and common, rise to such incredible heights? It's a combination of rarity, historical significance, error varieties, and sheer collector demand that has made the 1988 nickel a treasure worth far more than its face value. What was once just pocket change has now become a symbol of numismatic passion, and its value continues to rise as more collectors and investors take note of this extraordinary coin. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector, the story of the 1988 USA 5-cent coin is a testament to how even the most ordinary objects can become extraordinary with time, history, and a little bit of luck. End of this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.